What's good everyone, it's Zigzag here, welcome back to another Geoguessr video. Now as you're watching this one, I am on the plane to Qatar, and after that I will be of course going to Sweden. Obviously this is beyond exciting, I cannot wait to get over there, see everyone, and of course play in the Geoguessr World Cup. I'm trying to think of anything I've looked forward to more than this in the last years of my life, and I really think this is just going to be the sickest time. I do have some other news before we get into today's video, and that is that up here if you click the avatar shop, and then click into the coin shop, you can now type in Zigzag in this box here, and then any purchases you make inside the Geoguessr store will go towards supporting me. So yeah, if you plan on spending any money on the Geoguessr shop, it would be much appreciated if you could put my name in there. If not, not to worry, but watch this space because I do have more coming in that regard. Also, definitely follow me over on Instagram for updates for the World Cup. I'm going to be vlogging as much as I can over there, as well as filming some videos, but my Instagram story will be the main way to follow me while I'm actually there. And yeah, now on to today's video, which is about learning Panama and Qatar, the two essentially brand new countries on Geoguessr. Panama is especially important to learn because it's such a big country. Now there are a bunch of car metas for Panama so far, which I have not looked at all. So I think the first games of the day here, I'm just going to get in here, vibe it out, and then we'll look into some car metas and try and use those a little bit as well. I think it's really important that I practice this at least a bit so I know how things look before I get to the World Cup. And so that's what we got going on right now. Here we are. This is my first ever proper Panama round beyond the video where I just showed you guys that it was out. And it's interesting. So it really reminds me of Guatemala. These like pine trees really do feel like southern Mexico, Guatemala trees. I guess it really makes sense. And then looking around here, definitely kind of feels quite nice. The road's good quality. You've got some like cabbage trees or the similar ones that you get in New Zealand. I'm not really sure how these ones would be called, but yeah, okay, so that's the thing. We've got the mountains north and we've got a fairly rolling landscape here. It kind of looked to me a bit like Guatemala, which is already quite a long way away. So it probably has no bearing on how the actual round's going to look. But I was thinking of guessing this side here. As I said, Google Car will pay our attention to after a few seeds and see if that's going to help us a bit. But wow, what a plonk. That is remarkable for a first try there. I should have clicked a bit further into the mountains, eh? But hey, maybe I got the Panama vibes. Let's see. I really doubt it. I really think that's just luck. But next one here, I would struggle not to go Brazil, I think, on no moving, panning, or zooming. Sure, the houses feel a bit different, but that's really interesting. And the pole almost feels a bit Australian. Okay, here's the first piece of meta I know. The horizontally marked poles are west of the capital, and the vertically marked ones are east of the capital. And you can see that this one is horizontally marked, so it should be west of Panama City. Here's the Google car, of course. And yeah, this one's also horizontal, yeah, so it should be west of Panama City, which, to be fair, most of the coverage is west. This red soil, I'm wondering if this peninsula might work, just because it does feel quite flat here. Looks like we may have nothing south. I think that's just the sky. So that would definitely make sense for where I've clicked here. Ultimately, I feel like it's going to be here or just near Panama City. So let's see which one is correct. And yeah, we were in that area again. Wow. This is a really strong start. I don't really know what to say, but let's just see. Surely it can't continue on for much longer. So pole markings. Do we have anything here? Not really. Is that? Trying to see if we can see one. I don't think we do. This one's a bit different feeling. Definitely the tree makeup is completely different to the last one. So I'm thinking of guessing opposite side of the country just for that reason. But the landscape kind of, yeah, rolling hills feels kind of similar to, yeah, to a Guatemala, to a Central America, I guess. And so I think for the reasons I've mentioned, I might go over this direction here, maybe north of the capital, or maybe even east here. I'm not really sure what the coverage extent is here. I think I'll open up the map after this, but yeah, let's just go in this direction here, shall we? Okay, what's just down on this peninsula again? So interesting. We had the red soil over here, not so much over here. It's good to know. Okay, next one here. Very dry. Looks like Colombia to me. This is quite flat as well. We got like Mexican. This is Mexican looking pole top there, but this one's completely not Mexican. Looks more Brazilian or maybe Colombian. So that's very interesting to me. I'm not really sure what to make of it, but it's flat and dry. And sometimes the dry areas on the map do correspond, but I was thinking this might just be this area again, but more coastal. I think did we see any palms? Maybe not. No, we don't see any palms. Oh yeah, there we did. So yeah, I'm thinking maybe more coastal like this or something like that. And okay, what's that area? Very nice. Okay, we do have a bit of dryness there, so that's probably where you should click if you get dry rounds. Here we have a ditch, and I was reading on Plonket that the ditch is certain places. Now, are we going east-west? So not really, but the ditch is on this stretch of east-west highway on the number 1. Apparently, there's a bunch of ditch, so that's good to know. Tons of palms here, very green. Similar vibes to the other rounds we've had so far, which I guess makes sense. It isn't the biggest country, and we have a horizontal plate here, so I'm thinking this side. The ditch, I think, runs mostly to the west, so to be fair, most of the highway is to the west as well. But let's try this. And okay, it was further over this direction here. Makes sense. So there we go. That was a fairly solid first effort there. 10,000 points. Got 3 correct guesses, 2 mildly incorrect guesses. And yeah. Okay, at this point, it's definitely worth looking at where the coverage actually goes. So we have a whole bunch around David, then we have a whole bunch in the central area. Panama City has the most dense coverage, of course, and including Colón, and then not much going this direction. In fact, you don't even really get this town. It kind of just ends at the airport there without any side streets. So really the number one here is going to be what you need to learn. And then for the rest of the country, you actually have to kind of know the little off-roads. But this is actually a fair amount of coverage. I'm really happy with how this has turned out, if I'm quite honest. And so I think it's time to investigate the car metas quickly. Firstly, we have this one, which is the differentiation I was talking about. The west of Panama one is quite easy to remember because it's kind of flat. The letter W is kind of flat, so I feel like that kind of like makes sense here. East has the tall stick, so we'll have it like that. And then if you have both, it's always east. So the plates are super useful. I'm surprised it has such a nice east meta. I'm honestly shocked that it works so nicely already. But if people have discovered that, they've discovered it. Now this is an interesting one. We've got a whole bunch of like things that people have discovered about the car, but it's actually kind of hard to make out here. But okay, let's take a look. If we have the 2 dots, that's something on this peninsula. That's definitely worth looking at, either 1 or 2 dots. If you have a dot on the other side, it's going up to this road here in the west of the country. But there's more 2 dot action going on here, but a bit further with the full car. Okay, so the full car versus partial car is a big distinction, I think. And then we have this piece of dirt, which is running east of the city. So the 2 dots and the dirt here, they're very important ones, I think. Everything else, you could kind of take it or leave it. Maybe this thing here, I have to look out for a dot there as well. But yeah, that's basically what we're going to look out for now. Let's see if that improves our guesses at all. It doesn't actually seem like it's as bad as I thought. Like there's as much better as I thought. And sometimes it's fully blurred, which is obviously also nice. This time we have dark soil, a dark road, undergrowth everywhere, like a lot of ivy looking stuff. I think that I would click Panama City here, just because it's different to what we've seen so far. And the vibes kind of give me that kind of bigger city kind of feel. So I'm going to guess out in here, Alcalde Diaz. And okay, it was actually David. Yeah, gave me bigger city vibes. But what can you do? That was pretty much ungettable for the untrained eye. This is the west style of pole. This feels very similar to the round we had over here before. So let's check the car, shall we? And it doesn't look like we have this thing here. I've actually just brought the image up on my second monitor so I can allow myself to kind of learn a bit here. Given that I'm leaving in a day, I do need to kind of get that info into my head. But I'm also noticing we've got a typo top here, which is kind of interesting. But yeah, this little dot here, I'm assuming this one's found around Panama City and then also around here. So it could be in these mountains here. I think it's probably more likely that it would be in Panama City here, but well, look at these ones. We have like Malaysian or Indonesian kind of I don't know what these trees are called, but you see those all the time in Southeast Asia, and I basically never see them outside of Southeast Asia. So that's kind of fascinating. But okay, it's tons of palms here. I think I'm going to opt for this area here. Like we might be going through the mountains at that angle. That could certainly work. I'm just going to give it a go. And yeah, it was right there. Very nice indeed. The guesses are, they're still coming nicely. Okay, next one here. We've got the single dot. So this should be kind of getting up towards this direction, theoretically speaking. We have palms as well. It's dry this time. We have the horizontal plate. I mean, man, this is a very guessable country. Just combine the car with the plate and then a bit of climate and a bit of landscape, and man, it seems, yeah, very achievable to me. Okay, so this is pretty flat, all things considered. We have some bigger hills to our west, but that's definitely making sense for this kind of area here, in my opinion. So I'm just going to send it in like that. Okay, that's an interesting one then. So I actually misremembered that dot we just had is this one, which is on the peninsula. So yeah, that's going to be fine for getting next time, but just missed it there. So we have a highway here with a concrete block in the center. Now this concrete block is denoted in the orange. So this stretch of road, I was wrong. This actually is part of the concrete block, same as the road going to Colón. And these are the only divided highways in the country, basically. This goes out here is not a divided highway. So ditch versus block seems like we should be guessing more so inside this section here or to Colón if we're going kind of northwest angle. So then given that fact and the fact that we have slightly northwest, but probably more this angle here, I would say. That's feeling good. Now, it also kind of feels like we're passing through a mountain though. It feels like we're quite high altitude. Maybe it's just the fact that the clouds are really low here. You can see the mist on the top of the trees. But I am actually thinking this may be more so the road to Colón. So let's see, do we have angles like that? We do here. Maybe this is more that in my opinion. So I'm gonna give it a go. As for the Google car, I don't think it was helping too much here. Seems like it's got some like dust on it, which could be a meta, but we'll keep an eye out for that in the future. And okay, it was exactly that. Very nice indeed. 4,900 points, my best score so far. This is dry once again. I'm looking for any plates. Doesn't seem like we have any this time. Very generic round, I would say. Cars also completely obscured, which I'm sure many of you will be happy about. But remember here, I'm trying to learn against people who are going to do the exact same tactics. I have to learn this stuff before I go. But dryness, last time we saw it here. I think also we saw most of the dryness actually so far just around here. So I'm gonna click that and hope it's correct. And yeah, I was on it, unfortunate. But there we go. That was a 11K. We're going to improve that right now. This is going to be a high scoring game, I promise you. Okay, first one here. We have car. We don't have any metas, which is fine. Oh, kind of like a Highlands kind of vibe here. A lot of hills going on. Do we have that kind of, I'm thinking maybe Pines West. So I'm looking for any pines here like we had in that first run where I 5K'd. Seems like we do not have any. Nevertheless, I'm still kind of tempted to guess in that area. But actually, you know what? Because it doesn't quite look the same, I will guess here instead. And okay, it was kind of halfway between there. Yep, fine guess. Only 100 points, but you know, for the region, it won't be too bad in the tournament. That's only 100 kilometers or less, right? Next one here, very Colombian fences. I find it very interesting that they use the same ones as Colombia does. Oh, surely there's a lot of meta going on here. The insulators and everything on the poles, I would definitely say so. But we don't have any pole plates here that I can see. What about this one? Okay, that might be a horizontal plate. Is that vertical? I'm not really sure. I wouldn't trust it anyway. But yes, vibes very similar to the last one. Lots of palms. These trees, I'm so fascinated that they show up often here. And I think the last one we saw, I actually don't recall where it was, but I'm thinking this is a similar area to the last one. Looks the same, right? Oh, maybe not quite the same, but yeah. Okay, there we go. I do pride myself on that. If I see a round that looks the same, I just click it, and a lot of the times that is a good tactic. Okay, next one here. We have, again, no meta here, as far as I can tell, and a very similar vibe to the last one. It must be admitted. So I think I'll guess there again. Red soil. So we saw the red soil around here last time. So I think I'm going to click the same, but a little bit further east here. Okay, it was a bit further west instead. So red soil tends to be this area from what I've observed so far. And the second last one here on 6,000 points. We've got a divided highway with the concrete block again. It's dry this time, so I'm thinking this might be the further west stuff, but we're going north-south. Yeah, I think this kind of might just be here. We bend off to the east, which is interesting. Okay, maybe I don't place where this would be on that highway. Bending off to the east is kind of strange because the whole road kind of runs northwest. So I guess we should be maybe looking at this stuff more. I think this was dry last time as well. We did have concrete block stuff going on, but it looks also very similar to the kind of stuff we had along here. So I would actually say it's more likely to be that, just on some kind of a weird bend because it's just so dry. Let's also see if we're right, and we are. Nice. Yeah. So how many rounds have we had in that exact area? Many. And we're dry again here. So could we hit it for the fourth time? It could be possible here, I think. Divided highway with the, it is a ditch, okay, with the ditch instead. So that would lean us away from the exact same place, I would imagine. So let's look for pole markings or anything here. Don't necessarily think we're gonna have any. That's just some numbers, okay? That is a horizontal pole marking, I think. For that reason, I would say we're out here. And I want to just guess outside David or something like that with the, I think that, okay, I'm gonna pull up the map on the other screen. Yeah, so actually all the way to David, we won't have the ditch. The ditch kind of ends at Santiago. So that's what I'm gonna guess here. I think, well, the north-south angle is also very interesting. I'm not really sure what that would mean. Maybe somewhere here could work quite nicely. But apart from that, I'm curious if it's not there. And okay, there's a bit of divided stuff down here, and this also has the ditch instead, so very good to know. I think that must be like the last of the divided highway, I would imagine. I think it probably ends somewhere near there regardless. Okay, so good score there, 12K, very much central base seed there with 3 in the same place, and we did a good job of guessing the right area most times, but hey, look at that, we actually did guess the right area every time. So dry coverage definitely seems to be a strong meta for this area. Ooh, poor pavement here with the black dots on it. We got palms east to west, or a horizontal plate, and I will click right here, I think. Okay, that was actually David area. So I didn't actually check the car there. Maybe that would have been good to do. This one here, we got the single dot on the right. I've just consulted my thing. Single dot on the right, that's the road that goes up here. So this is essential to know. I don't think there's too much else to say apart from that. You just have to check for that every time, and that's going to be correct. Yeah, that definitely had the vibe that it was up in the mountains. Okay, next one here, single dot on the left. Single dot on the left, we check it. This is the one that's found in the dry section around here. This one's kind of more up in the hills, so I would kind of just click here maybe. And it was actually, okay, there are hills here as well. Yeah, whole thing is vaguely hilly, I would say. Actually, this is the kind of flat section where the river runs through. That makes perfect sense, right? Hills here, river, therefore runs through here. Okay, moving on. What do we have this time? Vibes are a bit different. Car meta is not working. And it definitely feels, reddish soil. Yeah, so we saw that kind of happening quite a bit over this direction, I feel. So I'm going to try it. And this is a very similar landscape to where we had this last time. So I'm going to click on this road here. And it was in that area. Very good. Very good. We could almost start state streaking this because the state's actually fairly logically set out, which is always nice. Okay, next one here. This is big city vibes again. This looks remarkably similar to the David round we had before. So I'm looking for a pole marking of any kind. Looks like we're going to be deprived of them on this occasion. That's okay. I would say, all in all, that I would try David again, just because it looks quite similar, but that it's well possible to be Panama City as well, I would imagine. Okay, this is instead in Santa Catalina, which is a tiny place. We get okay points. Well, not really okay points, but an okay region guess. But it ends up being actually in the far reaches of nothing. So there we go. Again, always set in the right side of the country here, which is gratifying, I guess, but not the greatest score because the rounds were not very forgiving. Okay, here we have the double dots, which is here, I believe. As far, I'm not checking my notes for this one. I want to see if I've remembered that. Highlands again. This one actually could be kind of the more southern highlands, I imagine. Actually, we'll check the map. Yes, that would make sense for that area. And yeah, we didn't really see too much else here. Do we have some pines? Yeah, we don't have pines. So we only saw pines the very first round. I'm still going to use that as a meta, but this should be correct. Okay, it's up there instead. So that's kind of the entire region this could be. That's fairly dry. So this whole area, it remains to be seen, but it looks quite dry. Here we have nothing, I would say. Yep, nothing. Lots of palms for sure. Yeah, I don't know. This doesn't really feel like anything too much to me. I might just try clicking near Panama this time. We don't really have anything on the pole that could... Oh, that might be horizontal, actually. Okay, scrap that. We will go instead north of David here. No, it didn't look like that. We're actually going to just go here instead. Canazas. Where's it going to be? Oh, it was Canazas. Excellent. Excellent. Good logic. Good logic. Like it. I like it. This is very green in comparison to what we've had so far. But let's just, for that reason, try this kind of region here. Okay, this was actually all the way west in David. So David may be getting a bit more green. Our next one here, double dots on the left. So we can send in this region here. It was this one, it looked like this last time, but it's also been this. I will try this because it looks very similar to that one we had there. And yeah, so the Penanom, that's the exact place we had it twice. Okay, next one here, very green, hill. Random hill we saw in David last time, so it's not really a random hill, but you know, kind of looked similar to me. Pole plates are non-existent here. Honestly, we haven't had a single Panama City round. I'm a bit sad about that, if I'm honest with you. But let's try David area here. I think it's good. We'll see. And no, this one was instead an El Cope. I like that. Whenever I get a bad guess, I like to do a bit of El Coping, but you know, that's the way it is. Okay, next one here, green vibe again. Is it El Cope green or is it more of a east green? We have the horizontal plate here. Do we have place names here? Trinidad, El Cacao, Panama. Yeah, so surely this place has the place name somewhere here. I'm not going to try and exactly figure that out because it's not what I'm here to do. But David is my guess, I think. I think it looks like that. We have a pine. This is a different type of pine. This is a coastal pine. So why not David? Let's go down here somewhere. Okay, and it was instead, yeah, so not too far from El Cope, another green one. This time in El Cacao, so that was the name of the place. Not too far from Panama City. Interesting. Okay, next one here, green again. So we've got a whole stretch of green ones now. This one where it's pointing right towards you, the little antenna. That one is only found in cities. Okay, so that's really good to know. It's only found in Colon, Panama, and David, and surely we go Panama here finally. I think this feels a bit different to the ones we've had. Indeed, we do have a northern or an upwards facing little reflector here, so let's try in the back suburbs here. It was actually in Utiva. Good score, good score. Next one here, we got the concrete divider. We don't have Carmeta here, or that white thing's interesting. I would be doing more research on this if I didn't have to practice all the other countries as well, but it would be fun to get quite good at it. Alto on the stop sign, by the way, so that's what you got to know for this. Bit of red soil action here. I think we can send, also in this direction, I imagine, just because of the, was it flat? No, it's not really flat. And also the concrete divider. Surely that is enough to get this correct. No, it was the... Wait, hold up. I got it confused. The concrete divider is this section. Yeah. So good thing to get confused now rather than in the World Cup. Next one here. No dot. No nothing. Dry vibes. No pines or anything. This is completely generic to me. I would just click here maybe. Something like that. Yeah. Nice. Left dot. And so with this landscape, I think we can happily click up here. And it was that one instead. So this is going to be a hard 50-50. I don't really see with the left dot how to differentiate these two yet. They seem very similar to me. One more, I think, before we maybe move on to something else. But okay, this is giving me a bit of a bigger city vibe. We've got a square plate here, which is not familiar to me, obviously. Definitely a cool looking place. Oh, the blue on the top of the plate. I wonder if that's regional. I would doubt it. I think it's just going to be maybe the newer plates there or something like that. We haven't actually seen many cars yet, so couldn't really say. Paraguay palms here. So all in all, I would be considering a city here strongly, and I think nothing better than Panama City here. Let's see it. And it was nice. Maybe the square plate could just be there, but We'll see. Next one here, we can see the full car. So from what I can tell, the full car is kind of more common between this section here. So that's good knowledge to have. And then just looking around it, honestly looks a lot like Ecuador for some reason. So that could be a little meta for this area. But with the full car, I guess we could just go Anton Valley. Maybe Anton Valley looks like it. Okay, that's good to know. It does kind of look like that there. And full car is going to be a bit of a meta, I think. Although maybe not a full meta. Next one here, do we have anything? Not really on the car this time. That's fine. And we have a bay going on to our south there, which is interesting. Very grassy vibe here. Yeah, I don't really know what I make of it overall. We have those trees again, which is cool. I don't know if this is like a David Bay, probably less likely to me. Maybe this kind of bay here, but again, it's kind of too small. What about this? Chame Bay. It kind of looks kind of similar there. If we were looking to our south, we could potentially be like up on this road or something like that. Probably couldn't see over those hills, which is a bit concerning, but we do have hills in our way. So as much as I don't think it's necessarily here, I'm just going to go for the guess. And it was this bay instead. That makes more sense, doesn't it? Still relatively close, all things considered. Not a bad guess. Next one here, we've got the left dot. And so the left dot, as we well recall, is this area here. Looking around here, this is pretty flat. So I'd assume we're somewhere in the valley here, more like this direction. We are on a divided highway, but this has a guardrail with the ditch. So the ditch, I believe that it's a ditch going to here. Let me check. Yeah, this is a ditch going to here. So I'm feeling good about this guess. Road angle is even kind of dodgy though. So I just guess like that instead. And okay, it was actually just a random divided highway there. Not actually one of the ones listed on the dock, but that's okay. Fine. Next one here. What do we have? Nothing in terms of meta. That's okay. No front plate on the car. So I wonder how often they do or don't have them. Round pole top here kind of looks a little bit Malaysian or something like that. Definitely a meta. For sure. Dry, it's valley-like landscape here. I think I would click around here on this occasion, or this kind of stuff here. That's what it looks like to me. And it was indeed in that peninsula region. This was a good game, I think. Yeah, 13.8k is definitely solid. Looking at that spread, pretty much every time we were in line with what the closest one was. So yeah, I think actually just one more for today, because I think, you know, I'm still getting there with the smudges and everything like that. We haven't had much Panama City. No antenna here. That is interesting. I wonder, I mean, surely this will be eventually known, but it's probably quite rare. Look at that. Wow, have they grown those two trees to link up? That's really cute. Looks like we have horizontal plates here. It's fairly dry vibes. I have a lot of palms, which makes me less confident about like going in Santiago or something like that. Maybe this could be in like one of the rounds where you want to go David or something like that. I'm gonna try that. Let's go David instead, just because it feels a bit like that to me, I think. And it was kind of halfway between there. Not a terrible score. We'll take it. It's fine. Okay, next one here. Ooh, like British Columbia, Ontario pole top there. That's interesting. Over here we have the little piece of fruit. So I'm going to call it the Skittle. So where's the Skittle found? I think this was found here and here or something like that. And the Skittle is indeed found. Yeah, I was right. Santa Fe and this region here. The dryness should put us here, I think. But the pole top is definitely interesting. Bit of African tree action there, which is also kind of fascinating. But yeah, I think all in all, I would just trust this area. Maybe something like that. Is it going to be okay? It's just going to be the South Hills again. Can't really distinguish them yet. Next one here. Ooh, full car. A lot of crap going on the car here. We don't have the like piece of big dirt here, do we? Ooh, we maybe do. This is a piece of dirt here. So Ocean South. It's not the number one though. So where's that piece? Yeah, that should basically just be on the number one. Unless we're looking at a river here. Could we be looking at a river? No. So this is the ocean. I think this full car then would be more likely to just show up in the kind of west part here. I mean the east part here, and we can just click on a beach like this. I think it should be fine. And yeah, it was one of those beaches. Okay, nice, good. Next one here, the double dots. They actually Skittles as well. Kind of looks like it. But this should put us around this region, of course. Now let me try and region guess it. Okay, let me cook. These hills, they're kind of lower. This might feel better for this region. And it does get a bit green. I don't know. I keep on sending it wrong. So this time I'm gonna go for this. Will I be right? Okay, this time I was actually right. Nice. Okay, let's try and finish out this seed with a bang. We have no antenna here. Do we? No, we do. But it's kind of facing towards us a bit. Not really. Do we have anything on the car? Nope. It's very forested here. This is kind of a very familiar feeling vibe. This is kind of this kind of region once again, I would say. Something like that. Yeah. Okay. Well, 12,000 there. It's a nice way to finish off again. Always guessing in line with the correct answer. Say we just send down here instead, we get 13,000, 14, 15,000. But that's a good enough attempt actually. How many states did we get correct there? 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's just over. We can count a 3, 4 out of 5, or 3 out of 5 if you want to be pedantic about it. So that is quite a success, I would say, or at least a relative one. one. No doubt in the future we'll know that more. Now, Qatar actually does have a meta as well, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you want to look at it. And that is the long antenna in the south, the short antenna in the north, and the mid antenna lying around Doha. Well, we're going to see exactly how that works right now. Qatar's a small country, so I'm probably only going to play a few seeds here, but trying to get a vibe is never going to hurt you. Okay, so this I would define as the mid antenna, maybe. I'm looking at the comparisons here. This looks more like the mid antenna to me, or the short one. So long antenna was driving in the south, and I think with this level of dryness, it's not going to be too close to Doha, or kind of, it just feels a bit further out, doesn't it? But it is a big roundabout here, huge one. The angle of the road, it's kind of hard to work out the road angle on a roundabout, in all honesty. So I'm just going to click here and see if that is the mid antenna, and it seems to be. Okay, so good start. Next one here. Okay, this is probably the mid antenna again. Yeah, that's the mid antenna again, and this is Qatar City again, Doha, I mean, which I'm going to tomorrow. What the heck? You know, actually strange. Maybe while you're watching this, I could be in Doha right now. You could follow me on Instagram and ask me if I am. Okay, but I'm just gonna click here, I think. Yeah, whatever. No, it's fine. This should be long antenna. Yeah, it is. Okay, this felt south immediately. It just felt very barren. And this is one where you just line up the right angle, right? This looks right for this highway somewhere. I don't know, this angle here feels pretty good. And okay, it was not at all, but was the south, so that's good. Next one here, short. What's that, short? Even medium, actually. And so Doha itself, and we click here and we hope for the best, and it is on the right stretch of road essentially. Next one here, short antenna, north. And did this kind of feel like it's a huge highway? It is kind of going north-south here. I thought this might be this Alcor region. Man, they have so much money here. Like the infrastructure is actually insanely nice, you know? Like it's not nice in the sense of like beautiful, but just like very high quality. But I'll go there. It was nearby there. Okay, so that's, you know, 10K immediately just with antennas and vibes. Here we have the chevrons, which they use there. Ending the paved road. Okay, short antenna, north vibes. More trees in the north, I've noticed. There are even some like parks around here, so I'm clicking one of these ones today. And it was actually a bit further south there, but yeah, looking, there's like a real density of coverage right here, apparently. Actually, this is all, yeah, so has quite a bit going on. I'm very pleased it has full coverage now. It's cool. So this should be a long antenna, I believe. It's actually kind of hard to tell on this one. Because we have so much infrastructure, it's fine to click like nearby anyway. And yeah, I'm still not sure. This is a region where you can actually find both mid and long antennas, but I would assume that was a long one. Okay, next one here. So this is a long one, definitely. I can't tell if this was longer than the last one. This is definitely a long one. This is out in the middle of nowhere. Again, using the road angle, this is one where it really can't hurt me to do. Is that this road angle? Nope. This one, more like it. I'm just gonna click there. Okay, was that? Yeah, it kind of felt more like it was towards the city. Next one here, the city itself, short antenna. So the city itself can have the short antenna, but as I said, it's mostly concentrated around this area. So I'll try that. And it was actually Alcor, which also is concentrated there. Long antenna here, wooden poles, interesting. They actually concrete. Are they wooden or concrete here? I would have assumed concrete, but UAE has wooden ones. So, this is the long antenna. Why am I not sure this time? This is the long antenna. And let's just click where there's most of it down here. No, it was all the way out here. So that was indeed a long antenna. Somewhere around here, it kind of switches. Like around this exit, I want to say, it switches and then becomes short. So it really is just like kind of in line, kind of has like a line like that. You cut it from Film City down to Doha. Okay, that was significantly less successful. Next one here, very dry, long antenna vibe. Indeed, it is out there. Let's click this direction this time. Was nice. Next one here should be Doha. Let's take a look at the antenna. Short antenna. Okay. Kind of felt more downtown, but maybe it's just Alcor. We'll try Alcor, I guess. And it was just downtown. Next one here, medium antenna, I wanted to say. Or I need to see the medium antenna a few more times. So I thought this is a medium antenna. I'll try it. Let's try outside of town. Yeah. So that one should be, that one could actually be any of the three, but I think it was medium. This one's medium again. It's hard when it's not bent. The medium one's easier to tell when it's bent, but I'm just gonna go to the same place, and indeed it is. So yeah, I think look, like the vibes are honestly gettable. Like I can tell just from the vegetation here that this is going to be a short antenna. And we just click this area and we are correct. Yeah, so that was a good seed. One more here for Qatar, and then we are done for the day learning the two new countries. I think it's this long antenna for sure. I think it's yeah, pretty high yield, especially the Panama one to learn, but even the Qatar is also super nice. And you know, using the antennas, you should be able to not confuse it for Dubai as well, which is very important. Obviously, that's the more important thing to do. Short antenna here. Ooh, this cord would be very useful for guessing. guessing, I assume. Could be like all the way north, I feel. I don't know if there's coverage there, but yeah, all the way north, yeah. Bit of like actual proper vegetation there. Actually gets green somewhat here. Green on the map in this part of the world, the Persian Gulf is crazy. Okay, next one here. Should be the capital. Medium antenna. Yeah, let's go like that. Yeah, it was on the road. Let's go. That's actually that's a good get right there. Happy with that. Next one here. Yeah, should be short antenna vibe with the vegetation. Okay, this is literally just click like that and call it a day type thing. Medium, yeah. No surprises. Here, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, it's just east. Yeah. Great. Okay, 10K. That's enough to call it a day. Guys, thank you so much for watching the video all the way to the end. Do subscribe, like the video, follow me on Insta to stay up to date with the World Cup. It's all going to be going down real soon. And yeah, guys, I thank you very much for watching the video till the end. Goodbye.